Welcome back, everyone, for another episode of Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup. We're playing as a troll enchanter of Okawaru. And I left myself a little note here, because in between the last video and now, I noticed there were a couple things I forgot to do. Nothing terribly important, but I didn't want to do it off camera and, never let you know. I put on a ring of, what is it? The ring Gehissi. Gehissi? Gacy is alright. While fighting Fanar, and I forgot to take it off. I don't really want to. I'd rather run without that ring than with it, because my resists right now are at 1 pip each of fire and cold, which is better than 2 of one and 0 with the other. And the other thing was I found a large shield. And I realized that I want to train shields to try and get up to 15, if possible, for that. And at some point, I'm going to want to train throwing. I'm not sure if that time is now, because large rocks, Okawaru is going to start giving us ammo gifts. And between large rocks and possibly, if we have any advanced needles. I don't really understand the deal, but having access to needles of confusion or needles of sleeping or something, if you've got well-trained throwing skills, you can actually use those against demon lords in Hell and Pandemonium, which would be really helpful. And so I think if we train throwing, Okawaru will be more inclined to give us rocks and needles. And right now our skills are okay. They seem fine. I'm not using any throwing yet. But alright, so we were headed to finish up dungeon and then go to elf. There is a strange disturbance. I guess this is an invisible thing. Great. And in the last video we wrapped up the Vehemet Wrath, so that's nice. No more random horrible things happening to us. And then, honestly, it wasn't so bad. Greatly exaggerated in the rumors. Potion, new potion, magic. I don't have any use right now for magic points, really. Javelins are cool. Something I should maybe pick up later. Or start using, I guess. I don't know. Is it time to use javelins? Oh, step back, step back. The killer bees are not really an issue now with the Shadow Dragon armor anymore. But I still really should not be fighting out in the open for no reason. And honestly, I don't expect a lot of problems from Dungeon 13 or 14. Maybe something bad is going to happen on 15. I have seen some nasty stuff guarding the depths. Is there a... 1 second. What is wrong here? I guess... I don't know, if I were a better recorder, I would actually pause the recording and then splice it all together. But I don't really know. Ooh, another scroll requirement. I don't really know about video editing programs, and maybe at some point I'll get into it. But right now, just a few days into my recording career, I'd rather keep things simple and occasionally produce non-perfect content. So what do I need to acquire here? I guess a wand, right? I mean, I have a lot of wands, but I don't have any of the big ones. Hasting, teleportation, heal wounds, invisibility. Those would all be pretty good. And armor is okay. We already got the Shadow Dragon armor, so A+ on that one. And we have, I think, yeah, every slot is filled. Don't want a weapon, so I think wand is the obvious answer. Ammo, I guess Okawaru will be giving us plenty, so no thanks. Another Wand of Cold, fine. Not the best, but we'll take it. Don't pick up more poisoned needles, but yeah, but if you find any more curare, like, help yourself. No, I don't want that. No way. An arbalest. What is... Hey, let me in. There's, like, stuff. Help. I guess it's in here? Yeah. This vault probably made more sense back when jellies and so on would eat equipment that they... What is this? This looks like huh. Something funny going on. It's a little castle kind of thing, basically. With shapeshifters in it for some reason? Like, that snapping turtle is not a snapping turtle. Sure, now it's a shock serpent. Oh, our first Okawaru gift. Some silver javelins. That's actually pretty good. Actually, I think I am going to train a little bit of throwing. Unarmed combat at 15 is fine. We can get it up to 20 when there's something important to kill. And how am I for slots? Because I do want... I guess this is enough disintegration. Drop this. This. No, definitely this. And paralysis and polymorph. I'll keep a polymorph, actually. Don't need frost. Don't need enchant armor. I'm glad I found another scroll of blinking at some point. I don't remember when. Don't need pizza. In fact, please stop picking up pizza. Okay. Now, let's start picking up javelins. Because there are a few good ones in front of me, and... silver javelins are particularly good in Zot, which, you know, we're not there yet, but not by a long shot. But oh, actually, I do want to enchant up this hat. I forgot about it. I could maybe even start enchanting the shield. Like, normally I don't enchant shields, but trolls don't have a lot of... Yeah, I might want 3 scrolls later. I don't know. Maybe that's silly. Where was I going? Silver javelins. They're really good in Zot because they do damage to orbs of fire like way faster than most other stuff you can do. And in fact, let's stop dropping stones. I should start... Or let's stop picking up stones. I should have enough javelins and rocks if I want to throw things. More gifts. A crossbow. No thanks. Trolls are just not smart enough for crossbows. -4. Yeah, okay. Let's not... What? Is this vaults? Yep. Okay. Great. Let's leave. This is like some pretty rough stuff, actually, honestly. Huh? Relevant scrolls? Not really. Okay. So. I think we back up here. We obviously are not fighting here. This is awful. But I think backing up to down here and then digging into the wall. Then I should be able to solo, like, just melee down most of this stuff and throw at the Hydra? That seems like an okay plan. You know, throwing does the same damage when in melee versus like when you're actually far away. So let's disintegrate. Oh, I have plenty of time to identify this disintegration. Let's not waste charges. You know, the hill giant is not a big concern. And yeah, I do want to dig one more tile because there are guys with pole arms and I don't want them to be able to reach me. So now only one guy can see me. I covered kill hole digging a while ago. This is the same thing. And we are definitely using heroism for this. Probably no need for finesse. But... oh, I need more invocations, actually, as well. So let's turn off fighting for the moment. Sure. Looks good. And let me see my actual base. Sure. Yeah. I'm thinking about whether we might actually stop training shields at 10, so that heroism brings it to 15. That's kind of a common thing to do with Okuwaru, is stop like 5 levels short of a goal if it's something that's expensive to train. Because whenever it matters, you have heroism active, basically. I'm not sure if that's necessarily what I'm going to do, but it's an option. And I don't think I'm going to use finesse. Just because my invocations are a little low, it might fail wasting a turn. Yeah, you know, not such a big deal, but I also don't think it's really necessary in here. I just have to remember not to tab the Hydra, basically. And you know, these buffs are so good. When I say these buffs, I mean just heroism, all the buffs to every skill. Which is really, it's just one buff, but... and I think all the monsters in the area should know I'm here, but apparently the Hydra doesn't, so that's nice. Nothing left to butcher, so we ate it all. Yeah, there's the Hydra, and let's just close the door. You can stay in there, please. Did I miss any interesting god gifts? Nope, just that crossbow. Any interesting rocks? Nope. More Hydras. I don't understand why there's all these Hydras. Like, they normally wouldn't be in Dungeon 14, I don't think. Like, Hydras... I don't think they normally show up in Dungeon at all. And they can't have come in from depths, can they? I don't know. I mean, I'm no expert on monster spawn tables. Maybe Hydras are totally normal here, and I just don't really pay attention. I guess I have seen Hydras in Dungeon before, but I thought it was sort of an unusual thing. Maybe it is, and like there's just some unusual things happening. Who knows? I'm not sure necessarily why I'm avoiding auto-explore. I guess just because I'm less likely to run into those roaming Hydras. But I think we've got everything on this floor, so let's just go down to there, huh? Do I have digging? I do. Identify, please, my wand of digging. Oh, this wall is metal? What? Why? Is this wall metal? It is. That's spooky. There's this big, conspicuous open space surrounded by metal walls. But I've seen all of the stairs down and all of the stairs up. This is like, there was a previous video where I saw something spooky that was totally surrounded, and I had antennae on so I could sense that there were enemies inside, but I didn't know how to get in. You know, I never ended up getting a chance to go into that vault. It turned out that there was a pressure plate outside that would let you in. Oh no, I haven't seen all the stairs down. I see, one of those was an escape hatch. So there must be a stair up from Dungeon 15 into a castle of some sort here. Well, that'll be fun to explore. I just need to remember. Anyway, let's go downstairs, I guess. I was going to try to dig my way there, but then there was that metal wall, so it's a good thing I tried to do that, because I learned something interesting and new. So, Dungeon 15, yeah, we, okay, should be heroic, and we should not be fighting right where we were fighting. Okay, this is better. Thank you for all of your help, Okawaru. You are a great guy. And I'll rest it off here. Even what? Hey, what the heck was that? I'm losing heroism, but I just more. Oh, okay, I didn't. I guess I didn't need heroism for what was left. Sorry to be abusing your graces, Okawaru. No. What? Okay. Apparently there's a way to change the view layers. That's pretty recent, and I accidentally did it. So I wanted to press this button. Oh, I already did drop it. Now I wanted to positive energy. Stop picking those up. All right, it was right on the screen. Don't pick up stealth or wizardry or ice or intelligence either, or magical power. Was there something else I was about to do before this all happened? No. Probably not. I do want to remember, though, when you find it upstairs, go up it. Like that one right there, instead of auto-exploring, I'm going to go up it. What do you guys think of that? Is that like my third Book of Beasts? Second. All right. I'll allow it. So far so good. Had that sort of ambush on the way in, but... And a Freet. Okay, let's sneak up on him. And this is a hatch, so I will not be taking it. Book of Transfigurations, huh? I mean, it would be pretty cool to learn statue form. But that's like a level 6 spell in 2 schools, and I don't know. If I wanted to do that, I probably should have stuck with Sif, honestly. Just troll form is pretty good. As they say. I was, some time ago I was talking about the viability, not on this channel, but like just in IRC or something. Boggarts. Okay, boggart alert. The viability of, like, troll transmuter going Sif, with the idea being that you just, like, you can't realistically get any good transmutation spells castable with a troll, but if you don't mind them being at like 50 or 60% fail because Sif protects you from miscast effects, you could just try several times to cast them and then turn into a dragon. And I was like, that sounds pretty cool, maybe you could do that. And some people do, but, you know, the point was made, I think, quite aptly, that if you already have troll form, you don't really need dragon form. Which sounds about right to me. If you just invest the experience in more unarmed combat, you do probably better. So, like, I see 5 boggarts on the screen, and I don't think we've seen boggarts on this channel. They just, they summon a bunch of guys. They cast shadow creatures, which summons guys from this floor. And they can quickly just balloon out of control. Boggarts are very frail, and so if you can just, like, land any kind of hit on them, they evaporate. But, like, if you've ever seen a boggart summon a boggart, which, like, then summon, and it just all goes mad, I really just want these guys to all die. So I'm gonna, I think even at 0 evocations, a Wand of Fireball is pretty good against these guys. It did pretty well, actually. I just have to get in there. And this is gonna get out of control, but I'm worried there's something invisible that's hitting me, and it might be standing right here. I don't really want to catch myself in a fireball, so I'm gonna shoot like that. Nothing happens. Try again with the other fireball. Like that. Okay, there was the thing. So there's a boggart adjacent. Like, I don't know. The fireball didn't do any damage to me. Forget it. Eat fireballs. Use scrubs. Have we killed any boggarts yet? No. This is not really exemplary play, I think. But look, there's only 1 boggart left. It worked. You just keep doing dumb things, and then eventually you do a thing that works. It's great. Okay, actually there were 2 boggarts left, but one of them was invisible. So now he's dead too. These whites are like summoned, so let's get over here, kill this guy. Yeah. Ow! Ow! Knock it off. Bad. I am too injured to fight recklessly. Good advice. So, boggarts. They can get a little out of control. But it turns out if you're just an idiot and charge in there, it goes fine. So I don't know why everyone's so worried about boggarts. Let's buy teleportation. I remember we were sort of low on that. How much mapping do I have? None? Sure. For 45 gold, like, easy. Gimme, gimme. Nope, don't even pick up amnesia, please. I swear, I've turned the amnesia off auto pickup like 30 times this game. I don't know what's the deal. A quick blade. Do you not notice that I have 15 unarmed combat and less than 1 short blades? Like, that's really cool, Ogawaru, but no. Okay, a bunch of Tengu. I'm gonna get out of these noxious fumes real quick. They killed themselves, so that was fun. I guess I could have actually just put on my Ring of Poison Resistance and continued to fight in the cloud. Might have been better, I don't know. More stores, very good, very good. Wand of Fire, sure. Oh, wait, oh, Rod of Clouds, oh, I'm so tempted. Why do I have to be a troll? Evocation's aptitude -3. I love the Rod of Clouds so much. I use it on like any character I can, except maybe Conjurers don't need it. But, I'm going throwing, and I'm a troll. I just can't spread my experience. I would really love to. I'm so sorry, Rod of Clouds, but I can't do it. I will take a Wand of Fire, though. Because it's been nice to have, like, even a very low-powered... Okay, this looks like the Entrance to Depths. A very low-powered ranged option. For, I don't remember what I've been throwing stuff at, but or wands, using wands on. But whatever it was good, and I felt good about it. So I would like that to continue to happen. Cool, so there's Dungeon. And this video is pretty short so far, right? Tell me it was short. Good. Alright, let's go start with Elf. No need to cut the video here. I don't think we'll have time necessarily to get through all of Elf, but to do Elf 1 and 3 is fine. I don't want to fight in the water. Could you elves come over here, please? So Elf is full of, you know, mostly squishy mages. Please stop conjuring me. Alright, Heroism, maybe should have done that a little while ago. Kill the Conjurer. He's like the only threat in the area, practically. The Deep Elf Knight is not a total joke, either. I guess there's a priest? Sure, whatever. But I want to kill the Knight. Where's the priest? Here. Yeah, alright. So I maybe should have used Heroism a little sooner because I should have noticed the Conjurer sooner. But with 27 armor, wow, how do I guess, even with Heroism off, I have 27 armor? What? What? Where's that all coming from? 2, 3, 4, 5. Shadow Dragon armor is 19. 22. I guess my armor skill is giving me 5 AC. That's pretty good. So anyway, Elf is full of like a bunch of squishy spellcasters, and there's talk in the dev channel about reforming Elf so that it's not just a whole bunch of samey like squishy spellcasters. You know, and there's definitely some guys here who aren't that, like Deep Elf Blade Masters, Deep Elf Archers, and they're scary. For different characters. Yeah, I'll take it. But mostly, Elf is just like all sort of the same monster. Deep Elf Annihilators and Deep Elf Demonologists are the biggest problem. Nice. For most characters. Because Deep Elf Annihilators can do a lot of damage at once from range, as you saw. Like, I think that must have been a Crystal Spear, right? Yeah. Which you can dodge if you have good evasion, which I guess we don't. Yeah, dodging, wow, we started dodging really low. I feel like I need more of that. And Demonologists are themselves not a big threat. They have Banishment, which can be scary, especially if like it actually hits you and you get sent to the Abyss when you don't want to go. And honestly, when do you ever want to go? But mostly they are a hog. I don't know if that's a shapeshifter. No, there's 2 hogs, so that's got to be Kirka. Let's just, I don't think Kirka would be a problem, but there's no real reason to find out. There was some food over here. What was I saying? Deep Elf Demonologists. They summon demons. You know, Demonologists. Makes sense, right? I'm confused. I'm less confused. Didn't I have poison resistance? What happened? I left that in Orc 1. Yeah. Show stacks. Hide stacks? Shows stacks? E? E? I don't know what's going on. I wanted to see what else is in that stack with the Ring of Poison Resistance, but I don't know what button to push to say that that's what I want. Why is there a... I didn't think Boggarts hung out in Elf. That's weird. I am cast into the Abyss. Alright, well, that's going to be exciting. Cool. Found an altar of Lugonu. Well... okay. Found a gateway deeper into the Abyss. Yes, please. I'm not really thrilled about it, but the deeper... So I don't think we've been in the Abyss on this channel. It's a random, like, infinite... Whoa! I don't have a Ring of Teleportation, do I? No, I'm sure I left one on the ground like an idiot. It's a random, infinite dungeon that, like... It just has no real walls, and whenever you walk, stuff is shifting around all the time. There's no boundaries, and it's 5 levels deep. The deeper you go, the more likely you are to randomly encounter an exit. So I usually dive down right away. Level 16, Bone Dragon. But I'm a troll. With heroism and finesse, like, how bad could it be, question mark? Is this terrible? What about consumables? Like, I feel like if I popped might, heroism, and finesse, I could shred this guy to bits, right? But how much of that do I actually need? I'm thinking we go with heroism and finesse. And then... I was going to say we throw a rock at him, but it took us too many turns. So heroism gave us +5 to all of our skills, and finesse doubles the speed you can attack at. So it's like, it's a phenomenal buff. Right? So, I mean, we're attacking 3 times a turn here. It seems to be having little effect. There we go. So, I don't know. Was that an overreaction? Maybe. Usually in Abyss, you just want to run away from stuff. Not necessarily because like it's all gonna kill you. Even stuff you can kill, you would rather run away from and only fight it if you have to. Because the longer you stand in place, the more monsters get to spawn, basically, I think, more or less. And your goal is to just cover as much ground as you can as quickly as possible, so that you find whatever exits you can generate and you don't give monsters time to appear. And you don't want to make noise, like drawing all the monsters in the general area. Orange Demon. I feel like it's been a while since I saw those guys. They're the ones who, like, they have a stinger, but they don't hop backwards like red demons. Okay. Deeper into the Abyss. Yeah? So the thing is, the rune can appear at 3 or lower. And normally I'd be like, wow, that's cool, the rune. But for the weekly challenge, I'm actually not allowed to pick up the rune until I've gotten a rune from Pandemonium or Hell. So I feel a little bit conflicted about being down at depth 3. Because if I see the rune and I have to say no, I'm just going to be so sad. You know, like, finding the rune is lucky and it's great, but I can't take it right now. I'm down on 3 anyway, just because you find exits more easily. And look at that, there's an exit. So I feel like a genius. So that was pretty harmless. I'm gonna kill the sorcerer, and then the boggart, and now I guess the wizard can banish me too. I didn't even think about that. So that was the Abyss. Pretty painless, that trip, actually. I've had much worse visits to the Abyss. I'm sure I've died in the Abyss some. Yeah, definitely. There is an entrance to something. Oh, I just walked through a store. Yeah, okay. So that was Elf 1. Not bad, not bad. Kirka, I just don't want to be turned into a pig, so that's a good reason to not fight Kirka, in my opinion, you know. Don't want to be a pig. Who wants to be a pig? There's a lot of guys here, and I should, in theory, I don't think I should be out in the open like this. Do I want to retreat? I think I do. It's a shame they're going to get a few hits on me while I run, but there's this perfect corridor back here that I can use. Let's grab the sack of spiders, sure. And, oh, an arrow of dispersal. Well, so much for my perfect hallway, huh? There we go. Now, like, they're not going to shoot me with arrows. What happened? I saw green and armor, but it was not the same. It was like some other word in green and then armor in gray. I thought something interesting had happened about armor, but no. What is that? Shafts? Why are there a bunch of shafts and stairs down and books on the floor? Weird. I don't know what's up. But we'll see. Maybe there's some interesting vault here. Maybe not. Maybe, I mean, obviously there is. That stair thing is not a natural formation. Priest, if you could, like, come down here, that would be great. Let's just use heroism. Should have used it a little while ago, I guess. The priest is refusing to enter into the kill area, which I don't so much appreciate. Okay, now we got him. Okay, so It looks like we still kind of have to pay attention, which is not a big surprise, I suppose. Elf is... I'm not under-leveled for Elf, but I'm not over-leveled. So, you know, some caution is warranted. Yeah, I've seen this, like... There's just some elves and, like, I don't know, they just have a bunch of useless junk books on the floor, and I feel like we're gonna find another vault like that elsewhere on the floor. Yeah, it's right, like... And they have really weird names. I don't understand what these are references to. Like, the first time I saw this, I thought it was some sort of bug in the name generation code, but... It's like this one vault generates really ridiculous names for books. I don't know why. You know, again, if anyone in the comments knows, oh yeah, of course, this is a reference to, you know, Doom 3 or you know, whatever, I would be happy to hear about it. So that was the Hall of Blades, I presume. It's just a closed door, not a ruined door. But the Hall of Blades is somewhere on Elf 2. Here it is. And if we were looking for a particular weapon, we would happily venture in there. But we're not. And that was Elf 2. So the question is if we want to go to Elf 3 or just go to Depths. And I feel okay about Elf 3. I feel less okay about Depths. They both seem kind of like a bad idea, honestly. But, I mean, that's the thing about... What is shooting at me? An arrow is appearing from thin air, and there's an invisible guy right there. Okay. So you might think that it's kind of weird that you can, like, see invisible guys, right? I think it's kind of a reasonable representation of, like, oh, there's shimmering whatevers right here. Because you can only see them sometimes, and it does... You still get accuracy penalties when you're fighting stuff that you can't see. Monsters get the same thing. When they can't see you, they can, like, sometimes guess where you are, more or less accurately, depending on what you've been doing. And this is just sort of like your... Oh, okay, let's leave. Not going in there. So that's the end vault, basically. Like, it must be. I don't know. It might not be, but I would be surprised. So let's explore the rest of this place first. Okay, more conjurers who have, like, lightning bolts, which are a problem. So we'll just go heroism. It's fine. If it were just one conjurer, I might feel a little bad about it, but it's not. So, there you go. Yeah, eat javelins. So it turns out you don't need a lot of throwing skill to make stuff like javelins, and especially large rocks, into effective... Let's just quiver the large rocks. Into effective projectiles. Like, large rocks can only be used by trolls and ogres, and they are just... They're like cheating. They do so much damage at, you know, relatively low levels of throwing, and even more damage at higher levels of throwing. You know, javelins are pretty good, even, you know, for the characters who can't throw large rocks. But if you can, like... Anyway, so that's sort of the plan for Garyon, I think, is to try to throw stuff at him. I mean, it would be even better if he would just, like, walk up into melee range with us, but... we got some interesting needles. Like, Needles of Frenzy would be interesting, actually, to use. So I talked to someone else, and he took Okawaru and then hit Garyon, I think I mentioned already, with Needles of Confusion. And that stopped Garyon from using his ability to summon Hell Beasts, which are, like, the main thing about Garyon that's hard. And... Frenzy, I don't know if that would be better or worse, honestly, than Confusion. On the one hand, like, Frenzy it berserks the enemy, and like generally you don't want your enemies to be berserk. There's a reason that that's a positive buff you apply to yourself. But it also confuses them, sort of. It makes them like just attack whatever is closest to them. And so you might get Garyon to like furiously murder all of his allies, I guess, and that could be kind of cool. But since I want to be meleeing him, I'm going to be what's closest to him. And so this doesn't seem like... It seems like the plan doesn't quite hold together, right? He wouldn't summon Hell Beasts, but he would be Berserk. So it seems like a bad plan. So we've dug out our little Elf 3 kill hole here. And this is just... It's not specific to Elf 3. You can do this anywhere. And I've shown this in a previous video. But especially in Elf 3... you want to do stuff one-on-one, because there's a ton of stuff with very powerful ranged attacks and summons and whatever, and they all have little hit points. So, you know, what you do in Elf 3 is you shout until something sees you, and then you run away like a coward, and you shout some more to make sure they can find you. And then you murder them. And, like, that's Elf 3. Back before I realized that this was the way to do Elf 3, it was much harder. Ugh. See, and like, the problem is you have to actually shout while you're in the kill hole, or they just like can't figure it out if you go too far away. I don't quite know what the rules are. It seems like... Oh, really? Red. Okay, that's interesting to know. How are you with hexes? I think you're quite resistant. Not that I want to polymorph you, but okay, it wouldn't work. Okay, great. So, Blade Masters are quite fast, I believe. Has high evasion and high damage, but apparently not a lot of armor. So let's just heroism here. And hit him with a large rock? Question mark? Miss. Hit for 3 exclamation points. Yeah, so I'm actually going to step back here. I don't want the Death Mage summoning a Lost Soul to resurrect the Blade Master. Yeah, okay, so that was fine. And we got more large rocks. Great. Are you kidding? He lost me in here? He was right there. You saw me. So there's some sort of rule for, like, how far monsters can remember where you were. Like, I don't know. It's weird. It seems like when I come just this far into a hidey hole, they always find me. But if I back up here, they're like, where did he go? I don't know. So I don't know. I don't know what the deal is there. But I guess the lesson is don't go further in than this. Right? And there he is. See, he found me. So that's like, I guess it's useful to know if you want to escape rather than lure, is like just go a little further and they'll never find you for some reason. So like all of this stuff is fairly trivial, but if we hadn't dug a kill hole, it would be like horrible. If you try to tackle Elf 3, I mean, there are people who can do it. I've done it, and it feels awesome. You feel like a, you know, some sort of tank just charging in there and blowing shit up. You know, I think the last time I did it, I was a Deep Dwarf of Mokleb, and it was so tense. I was summoning like fists full of demons and slashing stuff with an axe and quaffing potions of might and agility, and it was awesome. But like, I almost died a couple of times, and that's just not the way to do it, and it's too bad because it's great. You know, if you want to win, you don't engage stuff that way. And this way's a little bit tedious, but it gets the job done. And I think we might actually want heroism just for this. Because I saw 2 Annihilators and a Demonologist. The Demonologist is a big threat in the open, but not much of one in a kill hole like this. The 2 Annihilators, though, can do a lot of damage in any sort of scenario. I don't know, but see, like, they're losing me somehow. So I don't know. Okay, alright, it got a little exciting. And the Death Mages, you know, they're more threatening when they have allies to resurrect. Oh, yeah, so he summoned a demon. I shouted while we were out in the open. See, like, he lost me. I just ran back. He was right. He was 2 squares away. And he was like, I don't know what happened to him, boss. I lost track of him. It doesn't make sense to me. And there's a Blade Master coming as well. So there's some more heroism, and then got him. So he's in red, but honestly not that much of a threat. Finesse at 4% is fine for now. I need the experience elsewhere. Oh, lots of stuff. Lots of stuff. Let's back up here. And there's a demon, you know, so our bad tactics let something summon a demon, but it was a low-tier demon, and not really a big deal at all. And it was in melee range, like, that's important. Because anything in melee range with a troll is in bad shape. The real issue is if they can summon a fiend that's, like, behind the front lines, who can, like, torment the bejesus out of you without risking your claws. What is this on the floor? What did you give us? An Evening Star. Great weapon. I don't want weapons. You know, so Okuaru, I don't know. His heart is in the right place. But sometimes he doesn't quite get it. He's not hip with the youth. You know, we're the youth in this ridiculous analogy. I guess analogy is the wrong word. It's just some sort of scenario. I don't know. I guess I don't want a +2 cloak if I have a +2 cloak of invisibility. Now, I don't really want a ring of invisibility either, but I do want this artifact ring. Nope, I take it back. I don't want it. And so it's getting to be time where if we wanted to, we could remove the Amulet of Faith and put on something better. Faith is fine. You know, it means you can use Okuaru's abilities even more freely. I think his abilities are cheap enough that you don't really need Faith. But, you know, right now, what amulets do I have? Like, Clarity is good, but I don't need it now, really. I was way too close to start shouting. I should have been further back here. So I'm going to Heroism to make sure I can get through all this stuff easily, because there are some demons that I accidentally let in, you know, whatever. So, totally unnecessary, but... Well, yeah, I guess I don't want stealth, huh? Do I have any better rings? Dexterity is fine for now. The Deep Hellfire Priests are sort of famously a little suicidal. They'll use Hellfire on you in melee range. Like, they don't care if they go down with you, but you are going down. Ooh, sure, I'll take it. That's better than Dexterity. Just because it protects us from being banished, right? Like, Deep Elf Sorcerer should be like 0% now, right? 3. That's fine. And being banished is like... That went way better than I expected, being banished. It could have gone a lot worse. Okay. Okay, there's still more. Let's run away. Oops. Run away, Ron. Went fine, though. And so this is like sort of the sign of Elf 3 done right. Is just a giant pile of loot in 1 or 2 squares, tiles, whatever it's called. The little... Hello? Elves. There we go. Don't really need to kill whole, like, trivial little stuff like a deep elf fighter. 10 scrolls of identify. Okay, the Annihilator just got lost somehow. I shouldn't even be fighting one Annihilator out in the open, because it's not so much the fact that it's one-on-one as the fact that, like, they have to be in melee range. Annihilator, like, if he were smart, he would have blinked away and then started, like, throwing lightning bolts and all kinds of stuff. Boy, this Shadow Dragon armor, I'm amazed at, like, the fact that elves don't immediately know where we are at all times. Shadow Dragon armor is really doing the business. Wow, this guy, I guess I hero him? He drained me a lot. I don't like it. How much a lot? 1.7 levels-ish? I think it's, like, not strictly a number of levels, skill levels, but it's something that's, like, a fraction of your total levels on each skill or something. I don't know. So we're sort of pretty badly drained at the moment, which means we need to be a little bit careful. And these guys have Bolt of Draining, so, like, I'm just going to use Heroism. And, like, look, there's another one, so great. It's a little bit harder to kill whole the treasure vault here at the end, because there are monsters who just, like, didn't hear you show up. Book of Death. Cool, but not going to be learning any necromancy this game. Well, that's not true. I would love to learn regeneration, maybe. Eventually. So here we go. It's the Zot End Vault. Not Zot, goodness gracious. Elf. And Ice Dragon armor. Artifact Ice Dragon armor. You know, probably not good, but it could be. It could be great. +1 of, yeah. I mean, I don't really want to lose fire and gain more cold, especially since I already have a ring that does that. Gaining magic resistance would be nice, but this is lighter, and I would lose the stealth as well. Like, there's not anything very compelling about that, is what I'm getting at here. A Hat of See Invisible, however, is compelling, so I'll take it. Oh, why is it showing me the ones? Oh yeah, Port. Yeah, sure. Of the Tuna. Ice Dragon armor of the Tuna. Good to know where we got that one from. And let's just drop the old hat. It is old hat, after all. +2, Cloak of Invisibility. Well, too bad I just enchanted the other one to be +2, huh? Compendium of Doomed Cold. Nope. Nope. Azukubu's armor would be great, like, if we could cast spells and weren't wearing heavy armor. Trolls usually are not wearing heavy armor. That's a book of some good spells, but you know, haste is really good, but we're not going to get level 6 spells online realistically. If we do, we will have already won the game. Like, yeah, all of this stuff is... Let's identify the scroll. Scroll of Torment, I will pass on that. And I don't really want the Ring of Stealth anymore. Swapping to it is just... Now that I have anything slightly reasonable. Let's identify Cold, I guess, and Polymorph in case I run into some ugly things or something. So Elf was fine. Got a bit drained, but otherwise fine. So now we're going to go into Depths, and level 17 is too low level to go to Depths. But, you know, it's fine. And Trolls tend to be lower level because their experience aptitude is so low. I think it's like -1 or -2. Humans have an aptitude of like +1 or maybe even +2. There's somebody with an aptitude of +2, which is like ridiculous. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there isn't. Anyway, So that was it for this video. I'll see you in the depths in the next video. Thanks for watching.